Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavadpadacharyobhyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodayasthititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadan Rasyakritavan Bhuvidattvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirthamunivam Namami पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनुवे सहना भवतु सहनौ पुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विश्विदावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Welcome, friends, for our Kathopanishad journey. We have come to the final talk on Kathopanishad, and we have seen most of the takeaways so far from all the both the adhyayas and all the three chapters of each adhyaya. That is, we have seen the six chapters of Kathopanishad so far. Finally, we have seen what are all the takeaways, and finally, in how it is going to determine how it is going to change our thought process. How are we going to be making it, because useful for our everyday life? That's what we are trying to find. Is it possible that all those, because esoteric ideas and whatever has been taught and what the procedures what we have seen, the practices, what we have to observe and all these things, will it be able to culminate, into our everyday life now, how we can conduct ourselves, how we can live ourselves, the varying, because to realize, our own potential. This is what, exactly we are going to see now. Though we have covered the best part of our journey, though we have covered, because a lot of the practices, that we can inculcate, every day in life, how we can change the habits, how we can bring it to the level, because where we can give importance to those habits, which are going to be useful for us to keep our mindful performance and give our excellence every moment of our life. What are all those habits, which we can give up? It takes some time to give up the habits, which have become the second nature of ours. But as we give it up, because we are certainly going to find the immense benefit that we are going to derive, and how it is how it is making us, capable of performing, the much higher thoughts, and because of managing our time so beautifully, as well as to live up to our own expectation. We don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations. We don't have to, because we are spending our lifetime in miseries and the all challenges by trying to live up to others' expectations, because others' measurements. What is getting measured, it gets managed. Once you give the measure to others, when you give away, because all your entire, the power within you to others, then you will only be miserable. But you have got your own power. How to realize that power? How to get your own power? How to get to know yourself so better? The best way, you can do it, because every day, you will be able to realize yourself. But realizing is not only a simple realization of, focusing your thoughts and all. It is realizing, because how am I going to usefully spend every minute of it, every moment of the life? How I am not going to dissipate, because the God-given life and the God-given time, which is available to me. When every day morning when I get up, I should be getting up with some sort of flourish of happiness, and to look forward the day, because and to go about how am I going to spend the day and how am I going to do the things in the day, rather than worrying one more day has come. How am I to meet the challenges, and how am I to, because plan the things, so that, I'm able to be I'm able to get through, all those challenges every day, because that is both ways of doing it, because as long as you are agitated, as long as you are having all the cluttered mind, you will have this thought, because once the clutter goes out and clarity comes in, you become a vessel, which can be filled with enough energy, so you will be able to take the way potentially and all. This is what, because we have seen. In fact, because some other things we have explained. Now we are going to get into this is the finale, because when we are going to find, what is going to be really useful for us. The last mantra, what we have seen is Mitchiproktam Nachiketa atalabdva, because as Nachiketa has got the highest bliss, highest benefit of the knowledge, highest, the wisdom, he could get through, because all those 119 verses, which you have gone through the entire Kathopanishad. How, because how that is going to be, because we will be able to get even part of it, because that is what, even part of it, and certainly we are capable of getting the full knowledge, as he has got. And the Upanishad says you can vidyam etam yoga vidim cha krishnam. This knowledge of the self and the whole process of yoga. Yoga, because is the every day whatever we are doing, because is sort of a yoga, but we may not be realizing it. It's not that only few moments you take away to perform your yoga, as being taught, because on the online and offline, like yama, niyama, and then because pranayam, asana, then pranayama, and dhyana, dharana, dhyana, and because like because pratyahara and samadhi, pratyahara, dhyana, dana, dharana, and then dharana and this dhyana, then finally samadhi. Because when you finally get to that, because that is what being it's being described. But what exactly, because that is going to be meaning to us, because this is what it says. Every moment is a meditative. Every moment is a yoga, because when it is yoga, because when the complexities of the mind, because when you are having some clutter of thoughts, how am I going to pursue, because when you are able to get the conversion of the mind, out, that becomes really the meditative mind. In the meditative state, you will be able to perform excellently at every point of time, because whatever you want to do. So that is what because it says, once you are able to get inculcate and internalize, whatever we have seen, to some extent and progressively, you will be able to do it. It is not overnight we will be able to do it, but progressively we find, every time, when something comes, when we think about what it is, because then, once we understand, yes, there could be a better way I can, because every day is a better way. There could be a better way I can do it. It is not that, all the constraints, I am having at the moment is some of them are imagination, some of them are because created by more sort of inability to look into the details of it, because that's why the challenges might have happened. And or even how am I to ward off, how am I to elevate myself, in my dealing with the things, dealing with the challenges and dealing with the relationship and dealing with myself. Every day you are also dealing with him because you are having a personal chat. When something comes, because you are trying to find, because look, today this is happening, how am I to wade my way, because through the organization, through the relationship, as well as through everyday life with the friends, others, and the society as a whole, because that is, if you are trying to find, only bogged down and how am I to getting to, because you are trying to measure yourself against the merits of the metrics of the world, because you will have to measure against the metrics of your own being. How it is going to be done, that is what, because it was the last mantra has imparted that only. So Vidyame Yoga Vidam the Krishnam, the incomplete, in the plenitude. It is yogam in the sense it is not that, because you take one or two segments of it, you are able to give full attention to that. The power of the now, the power of the mindfulness, you are able to fully focus without any sort of a doubt and self-doubt. Self-doubt is the biggest sort of enemy of ours. Self-doubt comes, because we are not sure, whether it will succeed. Why we are not sure? Because we have not put our full mind into that. We are seen, because how possible, even if assuming that some challenges comes, once you have the confidence, yes, I will be able to get through, because we have gone through so many challenges in the life and we have got over them, and because and how is it not we will not be able to get through something which will come again. So we should be able to get through that. Confidence also will come, and that confidence will come only when you don't have a self doubt. The self doubt is the biggest enemy of the being, and self doubt comes because you have got so many conditionalities attached. Only if it is there, you'll be able to do. But you're open-minded. Once you know, whatever comes, because let me see, if I have the knowledge, if I have the capability, I will do it. If not, I will seek the help of others who are having similar capability. If I don't have a knowledge, if I don't have certain skill, I will try to seek it from others, who are having it. And I will be open-minded. I will be able to express the expression of I don't know, because that is a greatest, because strength. It doesn't, because we no one has the strength to say, I don't have, I don't know, because even the greatest Nobel laureates, if you ask them a question on the subject, which is not related to their research and all, they will say, "Oh, sorry, I don't know, and I don't have any idea." They will be open about it. But we know, because we think, we will be having all the knowledge, that assumption, what we think, because that is the ignorance. That ignorance is, that is taking away, all our ability to do. That is what call is avidya. Avidya is a word, which is used to repeatedly in Upanishad, because we are celebrating our ignorance instead of trying to get over, by the proper knowledge and wisdom. That is, you should be open-minded. You should be able to accept, I don't know, because, that only when you do that you don't know, then you will be able to get it. And otherwise, you will think, I'm having it, because what you are having it, that may not be useful to the purpose. This is exactly. So once it has been said, it is a Brahma Prapto Virajaha Abhut Vimrutya, a knower of the Brahman, free from all impurities. Impurities in the sense conditionalities, contaminated thoughts, kleshas, worried about, what will happen if it is self-doubt. These are all the impurities. And then he has become freed from power of the grip of death. In the sense, because you will be, till such time, because you are always afraid of, if it doesn't happen, that is a death at the moment. The death of, because that makes you, you are not incapable of giving your full potential to the job. Once you know, because that I will be able to get it, I will be able to through, either I have it, be with first or be with, either be first or be with first. Because that should be like, trying to get and go to someone, who knows, a person may not maybe of, because of a different sort of a status or different culture or different thing, but he has got the knowledge, and because you should be open about to go and seek. And as such, you should also be able to give the knowledge even without others asking. In fact, first Upanishad, in the Ishavasha Upanishad, he says, it is our bounden duty, if someone, you find, he needs, certain help in terms of wisdom, knowledge, or information, you should provide even without he asking for, once you realize that. It is not that, he has to come and beg or request you and then you let, because he says that is the highest possible evolution of the human being. So that is what it says. Having taken that, because then we should be open about it. Either way, you offer, your wisdom and knowledge to others, and if you don't have it, don't hesitate to get it from others. This Anyapi evam gya vidhi adhyatman eva. Any other seeker too can become the same if he knows the inner self in the same. In the sense, anyone else can become another Nachiketa. Why? Because Nachiketa has been kept in so high a pedestal even by the Upanishad. And see, because Nachiketa is a sort of a embodiment of the seeker. He seeks knowledge, because he has not given up. The perseverance with which he does. So what did it, because the young boy, who has given up his body, because of his father's curse, has gone to the abode of Yama, because who is the highest power, who has got all the wisdom in the world, and who is the governor of all Pitrus, because those who are gone from this world, he is the governor of one, who is assigning, the whatever they need and whatever they sort of destined for, he does it. When you have gone to him and he asks for the highest knowledge, because what happens to the body, after this body leaves? So body has gone, it has gone. Then what happens? What is left? It is the soul. If the soul is already left and it has gone to the Yama's board, then what happens to it? Under what control, it is there? What are all its destination? This is exactly, because it's being talked about. So when it is being talked about, it says, because the perseverance with, because, he doesn't want anything. And Yama tries to induce him with all the worldly pleasures, all the worldly comforts, and all the worldly wealth. And everything will available to him without working for. We have to work for our living. We have to work for our wealth. We have to work for our sort of entire comforts and all. He doesn't have to. Everything will be served at his doorstep. He offers, so much of inducement. Despite that, he says, no, I do not want. I want only, because post, the body goes off, when the soul remains. And what is this entire journey of the soul? What happens to it? Then, because he wants to know that. And because Yama tries to tell him, look, it is such a subtle knowledge. Even the great gods, because try to do that, because they have also not found. They also couldn't fully understand. It is such a subject, because why do you want to get into that? Leave me. I think he says, I don't want to be because a creditor in front of a lender, because he says, he uses so many words, but don't make me, because sort of a plight of a creditor, in front of the lender who want to seek his money. Don't put them, because I will not be able to give, because it is subtle now. But then Nachiketa perceives, you are the only one who knows, because you are only one the embodiment of the entire knowledge. You are the only one, because you have attained the position of the governing the entire, the souls, who go from there, because as per the scriptures, he is the highest evolved, dharma. He knows that, because I want to know only from you. So then, having seen the perseverance of Nachiketa and seeing, because indomitable attitude to seek knowledge at whatever cost it may be, he wants to find out, because then, he teaches him, look, because then what he says is, every person, what comes out of this is, all of us have got the final shining power in us. The shining power, it gives us the perfection. The perfection, we want everyone of us seek, everyone, what are we trying to do every day, because we want to perfect ourselves. We want to perfect our knowledge, we want to perfect the way of our living to our own comfort, because that's what we are trying to do. In that process, what we do, because in the perfection when we do, but in the comforts, because when we come, because the little pleasures, that comes in the way, that all, because certainly, we take it in the way, because you're taking a morning, get a good cup of coffee. After that, because you go out for a walk, and then you have a breakfast. And they were all those things are there. And the little enjoyments, you do that. But as you do it, all through the day, you should not become the victim of the enjoyment today, because you go to a place, because suddenly the breakfast, what you are taking is not available. Suddenly it is not available. It's not that, you should not become miserable, because you should be able to live through. So that means, you can create a comfort zone, and you should be able to live without it. You can live with it, but, you should be able to live without it also, without any hassle. You should be able to take it, because yes, if it is available, it's okay. If it is not, a kya farak padta hai. Once you have that, because then, of course, the world is for you. Otherwise, because you will be chasing the world will not be available. Once you have an attitude, if it is available, I will take it, if it is not, because that is the question then. So once that attitude is developed, then you will be able to. So therefore, what happens is the perfection is already built in us, and some of us are able to manifest to a degree. So it is dimmed in some of us because we are not able to manifest. All the great masters, they have all manifested the perfection in them so much. Finally, they are able to, because in every word of theirs, become a gospel. We are able to see, the quotes of Vivekananda. We are to say the quotes of Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. How, because all these, because they have got, they have identified the perfection and manifested it. Some of us are not, because we are dimmed in us, because we are still, because we are covered by our comfort zones. What comfort zone? Because your ability to satisfy, if it goes, it is only arithmetical proportion. I want a house. I want a bigger house. 2 BHK to 3 BHK. I want a small. I've got a mini car. I want to be a SUV, and afterwards, I want a luxury sedan. That, because you will go on. Your ability to get that, satisfy your needs, will only arithmetically grow. Okay, you will have to work for that. You have to become. You have to earn for that. You have to do. But your desires, they will be going down geometric proportion. Therefore, because when desires go to geometric proportions and your ability to satisfy need is in arithmetic proportion, there is a parallel line. It will never meet. Time will never meet. So therefore, you will constantly be chasing unfulfilled desires will accumulate to so much of an extent. You will be spending the entire life in that. Is that worthwhile to do it? Because therefore, once you are able to live without the comfort zone, once you are able to have that, because look, because what as it comes, because I will take it, and but whatever I have to do, irrespective of the fact, because whether I am in a position to give my, because resources to others, or when I am position to gather the resources to conduct an organization or a society, or if I am able to do in my small way my profession or anything like that, if I am able to give mindfully my attention with all the clarity that is available there, and then excellence comes automatically in everything, whatever you are doing. When excellence comes, selfishness is taken out because you put the entire attention, into what you are doing. So that finally, who is going to enjoy the product, because the person, who is going to your services, the person who is going to your resources, or if you are going to utilize the same, because for your own good, you are going to be the beneficiary, and people around you, your family and your friends, others are going to be the beneficiary. But the selfishness, but but once you have the it is me, I have done the will, the free will. You think I have got a free will, that's why I have done it, in the sense, then that is the one which absolutely, because clouds, your entire ability to get the best. You are able to do it, because there are so many people who have put in the input to you. There are so many people who might have assisted you. There's so many people showed the way for you. There's so many people who might have seeded the idea in you. And even a stranger, could have given some idea to you, because that might have flourished into, what you are doing, and that must have helped you to make a sort of a profession, or the life, what you are dealing in. It must have been, some sort of even our class teacher, he might have done, because given a small word, when we were in the school and all, that might have, embedded into our memory. And that may be guiding, even today, when I'm encountering, any such vicissitudes in the life, because we have to be grateful. And when you are to be grateful, because what is there, because so many people I have to be grateful. There are people who may be grateful to us, because we might have, indirectly or directly helped them. And we are all in the network. We are all in the network, because consciously, unconsciously, you may not realize that, we have got so many things, and we have also given thing, because once it is not that, I am only an instrument, I got it done. It is something inside me that has enabled me to do it. How it enabled me to do it, because I was able to give the clutterless mind to him. Mind is such a thing, it will take away wherever, because because once you have the mind, once you don't have to control the mind, you are able to allow the mind to be open. You allow the mind to get, whatever because that is the one of the greatest, because the sort of example given in this Upanishad is the mind. You are a rider. The body is a rider. The soul, the soul is a rider of the chariot, and the intelligence, the buddhi, is the one, who is driving this chariot. Your mind is the rein connected to the senses, all the senses. So all the five senses, because they are all being connected to that. So if the mind is not able to control the senses, your your entire chariot, can't go by the route. It will be wobbling, because it will rather be overturned also. But if you are able to control the senses, so the mind reigns, because once you are able to get, because it's a clutter-free mind, and then, it is able to get to the discrimination from the intelligence, because what the route it has to take, and the direction, it has to take, because and it is the highway to happiness, because as it takes, it will take you there. But, if you don't have a control on the reins, it is a sort of a mind to the misery only. So it will happen either way, because that is the what it has given, because basically we have to understand the senses are only horses, and they only basic information, and they will do, whatever your desires are asking to do. And the mind is the one which reins in and puts in the right path. And therefore, once that is it. And because of your experience, and the wisdom you develop over a period of time, your buddhi, your intelligence, which has got the discriminating power, it controls the mind. And it says, the control, it enables the mind to control the reins of the senses. And then you are able to go in the best way. Once you are able to do, what happens? Once you are able to the religion, all the religions, because what they're professing is, finally they find out the best in you. And why it wants the best in you? Because we are not the best. Because we could be better. All religions, no religion says, you are perfect. You don't need anything to do. You have to, because all religions give, because all the practices, all the prayers, all the worships, all the methods, why they have given? They have all given to elevate yourself, to evolve yourself to your full potential. And what happens is, in that point of time, all the purity and all the power is all embedded in us. And then, that particular, the embedded in us, because are you able to manifest? You will be able to manifest only when you are able to give up on all the conditionalities of yourself and realize the experiences in the world, what we have called delectable and desirable, what is, the pleasant, and what is the perfection, the perfect knowledge and present, experience. Both are, the put they are giving, they always, you encounter this. If you go for the pleasant, you will have the momentary happiness, you will have it. But when the best condition of your mind, the same pleasure might become a pain, because it may, rather, degenerate into something. So the pleasure and pain will automatically, be transforming themselves depending upon your mind condition and your own indulgence in this world. Once you understand, because they have all got a purpose, you got it, and once you have got the experience, once you understand, it has got the limitations. Everything in the world has got a limitation. They are all ephemeral. They will not be able to keep you happy. All the sense pleasures, because will not be able to keep us alive. Because finally, one day, the body has to be given up, and because death has to usher in, and there will be a transformation. It is not something to be feared at. So you are only, you were there, because as we have said, you are eternal. You were there, you are here, and you are going to be there for time immemorial. So therefore, once you are eternal and you are having this body at this point of time, so that you have to gather the next experience. You created your own conditionalities to have this body. So having created the conditionalities of the body, you have come to the body, have the experience, and try to evolve. As you evolve, you will get into a better being, because maybe, when the body again comes to you, because when you have to evolve further, and then perhaps, because you may attain a better position, and, because as it is like that, Durlabham Manushya Janmanam, we have seen, because several births it takes. And it also, when the evolution is there, there are also involution. Because if you are not able to get the best potential, and if you are not able to evolve, we may devolve into a lower being also. So, because once you are getting into the lower being and the lower thing and all, you will not be able to appreciate, because the need for all these, the sadhanas, and how we will have to understand why I should not have any comfort zone. I should have a comfort zone because comforts are only for having, only for created, comforts are available every day. New comforts are there, that is only for the people to have a better way of life, because enjoying themselves, what is that? But subsequently, when you are not able to, when the body is not able to even sort of encounter that comfort, because it becomes so frail and fragile, because you will not be, even the comfort will not have any meaning to you. You would better be, because let me be giving up this comfort, let me go with, whatever comes, that type of a feeling may also come because we get into the indulgence. So this is exactly, that is why, because when, as it goes, because finally when the entire, what is, the pleasant and what is the perfection, what we have talked about, how once we are able to manifest whatever, because slowly, little by little, the perfectionness comes through, and the mind becomes, because totally free, because it is able to have full reins on the senses. Once you are able to have the full rein on the senses, so naturally, you will perform, because what is going to be good, your karma yoga will be so good, it is only going to be beneficial for you and beneficial for others. So once you attain that status, because that is the only reality, because that's why, when we say, because when we see, because since we are eternal, we say, because the one who thinks, he has been killed is also not killed. That's what Gita says, so is this Upanishad himself. It says, Nayamatma Labhyaha. Once you don't understand that in a knowledge, you will not be able to get the wisdom. The wisdom is that the body is only a sort of a framework, but the real manifestation is inside Angushta Matra Purusho. As we saw next week, Angushta Matra Purusho Antaratma. He is the one in there everywhere. And once we belong to that eternal, we are eternal. And we are going to be there, and the body is the one in between comes. And the world is there. But the world is, because there, because world will continue to be there. But as long as the world is there, it will also pose the challenges. So it is not going to be, you are in the world and you will be dealing with the world. About 4 years before, we also had a pandemic. All of us have been confined. The world asks us to get into your house. You will not be able to come out, with a mask, without a mask. So the world, because it has got its own way of doing things, because, we are the one who are contributing there. Finally, we are the one who are getting the end result also. So therefore, we will also be getting the end result, because whatever we do, once we know, we are able to realize the perfection. To the extent, I'm able to, every day I'm able to manifest, the little perfection. And I think little clutter in my mind has gone. All those conditionalities, have gone, because I like, dislike, and I'm able to get, as it comes. I've not created any comfort zone. And there is no unfulfilled desires, that is accumulating, in my sort of a, laundry list of, desires and all. And it's not that, because once I reduce that, I will not be, because going on, searching for ability to satisfy all my desires. And once I try to ability to satisfy all the desires, when try to go out and do that, it is only because, further desires will come. This is what Manusmriti says. No desire has ever been satisfied by, no desire has ever gone off, by being satisfied. It only grows. It is like, because it grows, because several geometrically it grows. If one desire you satisfy, it grows, to several hundred desires, and again it grows. So you will only be chasing, on the other side of it, will not be getting it. So this why they have said and all these things. It is not that, I should not be living in the world. We should be living in the world. We should be living comfortably, with all the possessions, but then we should not be possessive. Anytime the possession goes off, or anytime the possession is not available, or any comfort that is not available, I should be able to live with this world. So that is what, because finally the knowledge we will have to get. That is why, because in the third chapter of this first adhyaya, because it gave the words, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached, as Vivekananda has named. Uttishta, Jagrata, Varani Bodhita. Don't leave, don't give up, till such time. Because you should persevere, Shraddha. If you go to any Shri Sai Baba's mandir, two words that will be Shraddha and Saburi. Shraddha is, you'll have to go with full potential, attention, mindfulness, the power of now. Saburi is, you should have a patience, titiksha. You should be able to take, because it's not that I have done, because tomorrow will I get it. I have done, because will I get, because my next promotion, will I become a vice president? Will I become this, that, and all? You go on doing it. Automatically, the world will give you the best. It knows, what you deserve. The cosmic, it will automatically come to you. You don't have to worry about it. But if you worry about it, you will not be able to give the best. It is chicken and egg story. So you will have to do that. This is what exactly arise, awake, stop not till the goal is uttishta, jagrata, varan nibodhita. And what he says, because finally, that word says, Shurasya Dwara. The life is like, walking on the razor's edge. Because, like, because always, the world will offer you, both, the perfect one as well as the pleasant one. What is that, you're going to? Because for me, okay, I will see, I will go through all these things, I will listen to all these things, and I will do the things, when I get retired, retire from service where I have nothing to do. Now I think it is not required for me, because when things are available and I can get my ice creams, because I can go to the places and I can indulge in, whatever is available to me. The choice is yours. But once the choice is yours, you should be able to have the responsibility to take the choice you have exercised. And finally, because you get something, when thing challenges comes, you should not think, because then you should be able to face the challenges also. To face the challenges, then only you will realize. Is it that, because once you may fail. The second time, once you understand, once you have learned from your experience, wisdom is what you learn from experience. It is not your experience. Once you have learned, next time when it comes, you will not know. Because I don't have to indulge, or I don't have to go for these things. It has got a limitation, because let me see, I have got better things to do. Your priority will change. When the priority will change, in the sense, you are taking more responsibility for your own action. So once you are able to take more, how the responsibility comes, the more responsibility comes, because slowly you are able to realize the perfection, manifest the perfection. So some of us may be fully clothed, because then we are not able to manifest. But some people, because maybe scantily, because they are able to manifest more. The body is same, but then, because how you are manifesting is depending upon how much attention you give it to that. So likewise, once you do, because every experience adds to your wisdom, and as you go by that, and once you see, the automatically the perfection comes. Along with the perfection, the power comes. When the power comes, you are able to. There is you become a victor. You are no longer a victim. You will not be playing the victim card. Hey, why people are scolding me? Why people are telling me like this? And why are you? Everybody and all of us are same. Children don't, because they scold each other, and the next minute, because they don't have any sort of all these idiosyncrasies, because all the clutter of the mind, and the next moment they become friends. So it comes and goes like that. Once you are able to take it, because once you are not able to hold on, certain experiences, certain attachment, certain way of living and all, you become totally free from this world. This is what exactly it means, because this is that's what brought about it, because when the religion also tries to bring in the realization only. Religion wants, because all the religions, what they want the prayers, or they want do the processes, because maybe pujas, some of them are having a masses, that's again conducted. They always go also ask you to go through the scriptures. Sermons are being read out, and because scriptures are being read out, because satsangam and all those things takes place. What is the purpose? Because by hearing that, because you may at least try to reflect out of 100 things that is being said, even a one thing that holds on, the one thing sticks on to your mind. You try to reflect that, because that will bring, because the chain of changes in you. So once you go on progressively, as you go on having this particular experience of, because understanding yourself more, and slowly once you are able to manifest the perfection in you slowly, you will find the world is, because it will be like that, because it will have its own challenges, but you will be able to wade through effortlessly, because whatever be the situation, you will be able to cross over, because any challenges that comes about, you will be able to get through, because any of the any of the events, because that may be, because otherwise cataclysmic, you should be able to get through that. Because basically what will happen is, because once you have the perfection, your perceptions change. How perceptions change? Perception, because as the psychologists say, it is all the controlled hallucinations. Hallucinations in the sense, because your past, whatever has happened, they are coming as your past experience comes as a perception. If you go to a place, because you go to a house, when you think, because I will be in the house, I will be talking to them, you imagine, because you got the past experience, but you find, it may be different. So likewise, you expect, you do something, you expect, because something else happens, because that is what the way of nature, it will happen like that. But your expectation, your perception and the fact, need not be same. That's why, all the challenges and miseries happens. So once you are open-minded, because once your perception is there, yes, this is my perception. Let me see what it comes. I will take it. I will not be holding on to my perception. This is it, because there could be a better thing also. It may be much better than what you have thought. So once you are able to do it, because always the better thing will come to you. The once you have, with the clutter free, the best will always come to you, because nothing but best will have to come to you once you have that. To slowly realize your perfection. So the perception is the one, because slowly, we will not be always holding on to know the because until we open-minded. And then even when you exercise anything, you will be taking the responsibility. And the responsibility, how will you be able to take it? Because your own action, will be your conditions of the mind, will change so much, you will be able to take the right action. Because you would have given up, because all the likes, dislikes, and comfort zone, holding on to certain things, because certain without this, I can't do it, I need this. If I have to study, because I should have a good room, it should be AC, and I should have this, that, and all. If you put the conditions, it will never come to you, because then you will not able to be going about it. But I can do, because I need, the basic comfort, what is required, and I should be able to do. I should be able to read a book, because that is much more abiding, and then because than to watch something and all, because once you take, the choice is yours. So you are taking the responsibility for change, whether you want to go to a movie or a sort of a play, or because there's something else, which is going to entertain you, or want to give the time to something else, because that depends upon you. So you will be taking that responsibility. So likewise, because it says, finally, when you see, when we want to attain the perfection and all, once you know, Paranchikani Vetharanath, because the entire world, which offers you, because it dissipates you. And, because, okay, Bill, you will have to live in this world. Go by that, because you have experienced once, and from the experience, you have learned it as a limitation. Once you have taken a limitation, to that extent, the utility value is there, you will use it to the experience, and afterwards, you will not be holding on, to go on forever with that. Paranchikani Vetharanath. Tasmat na pashyati antaratman. You will not be able to see inside you. Because the world offers so many things, but inside, you've got a biggest universe in you. So you are not able to get into that universe because every because that universe gives you the thought. So your thought is, because conditioned by that, because that is why, great scientists, when they reflect and all, even Einstein and all, they have talked about the imagination, how the imagination has come. They have not gone about by what is available in the world, what is happening. They have seen, but it has given, because they have seen, because if that is the case, they have looked at, the other things, the sun, how it comes, because how the sun power, because it's being able to be taken in and converted, and how because the matter gets the energy, and the energy is in how matter is able to convert into energy, and is it convertible. Finally it came, because matter and energy is because matter can be converted into energy. That's how finally the things came out. So all that, because the imagination, and that whole imagination and the phantasmagorial imagination comes, because when you are able to give the bliss in your mind, in the bliss in your mind comes, once you know there is an internal world, once you are able to reflect, you are able to get the experience. Based on that experience, you can still find, because a lot of new inventions would not have come without, because such an open mind, because such a intuition available. That intuition comes with the wonderful universe, even the world available to us, even in multiplied by several times, will not be able to satisfy us, nor we will be happy, be able to happy. But our internal world, once you are able to understand, once you are able to get into that, and once you find the limitations and the ephemeral nature of the outside world, you will be able to understand, because how great a potential is in you. Once you are able to realize the perfection in you, the perfection gives you to the wherewithal to, the power is being given, the potential, you'll be able to realize that from the potential, you will be able to take the power and do whatever you can as excellently as possible. And with that power, you will be having the glorious way of looking at yours. You will be able to realize your own potential, the seed quality of yours. Till then, because we will not be able to get that Swarupa Jnana, what they call. The Swarupa Jnana is knowing the real potential, because we are eternal, we are here, we have come here for experience, and we will be there for several millennia, because to be there, and the body will come and go, and we will be taking. The body can evolve based on, whatever accumulated in this birth, with the treasure trove of knowledge, finally, it takes us, and it can also involute. The involution can also take place. And if I am not able to do the finally thing, but why should I not use it, in this the rare opportunity which I have gone it, because in the human form, the highest evolution, and once I have got the highest Durlabham Manusha Janmanam, having got that, should I not use it, because that is exactly. Once you do that, once you have understood, this, that, then you have awakened, awake. And then you have arisen, because then once you have arisen, once you are awakened, because once you awake, immediately, you see what is it, you are not befuddled, once see, because look, because by understanding that, I am only an instrument, because I am not the doer, but I am able to do it. And the same power in me is there in everyone else. So that, because there is nothing, because once I know the perfection, the same perfection is there in others too. But because it is not manifesting, because if we change, we are all different, because the degree to which, because it manifests, the perfection manifests in us. And the masters, because they have exemplified, showing, how the perfection has manifested in them, how they have lived a glorious, simple life. And finally they have brought, because life itself is a message to us, because having brought them, all these great masters, Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, Chaitanya, all of them have lived the life, all of them have realized the perfection in them. Finally, who has enabled that perfection? The power, shining power in us. It is His grace that is. His grace will be available when you are able to give up all the clutters, when you are able to give the conditionalities, once you are able to focus inward. That means, once because you will have to, once you understand the real sort of ephemeral nature of the external world, then only you will be able to get the internal world. So the choice is yours, whether if your choice you are able to exercise, as the Upanishad have said, then you would have arisen, awaken, and you will be achieving the potential and power and going to the glory, for which, you are destined for. It's your birthright, you will be getting it. Once it is there, because there is no question of any birth or death and all, because it doesn't have any meaning, because it all loses, because because you have come in this body, you have got this experience, you have got the treasure of knowledge, and the limitations of the world, having understand, because finally what is the power you have got, because during your time in this world, you will be able to exercise your power so well, for the benefit of the everyone, including yourself and others. And then, finally you will be seeing in the how the power in us could manifest to our own glory, which we have not realized all the while. Now it has come to our own, because understanding. Once you get the understanding and realize this understanding, that is exactly the purpose of the religion, purpose of all the scriptures, and finally the purpose of being a human being in this world. And we will be full-fledged human being and making this life a wonderful place, not only for us, for everyone else. With this, we complete today's the final talk on Kathopanishad. Sahana Vavatu, Sahanao Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vadidamastu Vishvidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.